This man came up to me and he said, "Trump says all Asians have coronavirus, you disgusting."
Actor Michael To co-created the sketch comedy Coughing While Asian to depict the, quote, overblown fear of Asian Americans because of coronavirus.
I wish I got this many second looks when I was single.
And yet, it's reality for many Asian Americans.
Every disease has ever came from China, homie. Everything comes from China. It's disgusting.
There have been a lot of people who just use this fear to justify racism against Asian people and to scapegoat Asian people for their fear of the coronavirus.
My students started to say that I may have the coronavirus based on what I look like. When I started hearing students say, "I'm not going to enter the room because she might have it. If she coughs, I'm not going to be near her," I could not help but feel hurt inside because this is the result of misinformation being spread.
I work at an Asian restaurant. A gentleman was eating a daikon radish garnish, and he straight up asked me, "I'm not gonna get coronavirus from this, am I?"
He was verbally attacking me, but then he opened up his soda bottle. He kept saying that he was gonna pour it on me. He called me a bunch of other things, and he kept making the motion that he was gonna pour it on me, and he started spitting at me as well. I looked around, of course nobody wanted to acknowledge that anything was happening.
A good friend of mine and I went to a restaurant near our house. When we walked through the door, we were met with a very kind of awkward greeting, and I would even say cautious. And we were walked past that main dining hall, and we were sat at a pretty much a closed off, separated section from the restaurant that really didn't make any sense why we're being sat there. And that's when it clicked to me. I said, "Oh my gosh, I think we're being quarantined." And to validate my hypothesis about this, and about 8 minutes later, there was another table that got sat in that section, and it's only our two tables. It was two women of Asian descent.
I work with kids as my job. I even sometimes have kids coming up to me, "Hey, do you know that the coronavirus comes from people eating bats?" Outside of where I work, there's been much older kids discussing it, saying things like, "Oh, he's Chinese. Oh, she's Chinese. Oh, she definitely has the coronavirus." It makes me feel very uncomfortable.
I actually arrived back home to the United States after 9 long months of traveling overseas. I did what I thought I can do best, was to be cautious and wear a surgical medical face mask during my whole travel back home. I had passed immigration without the face mask. I took that off so that I can process through the screening easier. But once I put back on my face mask, that was where all the heads had turned. You know, girl of Asian descent wearing a face mask. I was told to go back to China, even though I am not of Chinese descent. I was in complete shock.
They just kind of add to this myth of the perpetual foreigner, that Asian people are perpetual foreigners, even in a country that they were born in a country that they've lived in for many, many years.
I understand that, yes, not everyone is looking at race, but you can't discount millions of people, Asian American, who are feeling those aggressions against them.
I just want people to know that we're people as well. We are also scared. We don't want to get sick. It doesn't mean that you should single us out for something that really wasn't our fault.
Yes, I am Asian. Yes, I am Chinese, and I'm really proud of that. But that does not make me have the coronavirus. It is a world health problem, and not only Asian people are susceptible to it.
When we're under duress and stress, I think these kind of incidences are only going to get worse and more serious. Rather than microaggressions, I think they're going to be more aggressions and macroaggressions.
We are all trying to be safe together. So people versus people, minority versus minority, racism versus racism is not going to help us.